Buddies, look what I have with me today. A Harley Davidson Iron 883. Now, well, what do I say about this motorcycle? What do I say about this brand? Do I really have to say anything? So, this video is not exactly a review of a typical kind, but it is going to be a review of living with a Harley Davidson in city traffic conditions. How does it feel when you ride a motorcycle like this in city urban traffic and also when you get onto the highway? So let's start off riding this beautiful motorcycle and very iconic motorcycle. Well, this belongs to my friend Anvesh. Thanks to him, he'll be riding my Duke 390. And let's roll. This motorcycle has an aftermarket exhaust. Check the sound. Wow. The first thing about any Harley Davidson is its exhaust note. Now this motorcycle has a complete Screaming Eagle kit, that is the aftermarket exhaust, the air filter right here, and also the spark plugs, the CDI unit, the cables, all of it is basically a performance kit. Now I don't really know how much extra power this thing puts on with the Screaming Eagle kit, but one thing I know that it sounds awesome. And whoever says that Harley Davidsons are not fast, well, I can only say one thing. You got to ride a Harley Davidson to know how fast it really is. These machines generally don't give a perception of a fast motorcycle, but they are indeed very fast. Because see, remember, generally, whenever we are buying a motorcycle, we always ask what is the horsepower rating. I mean, how much horsepower does the engine produce, correct? Now, well, it would be fun to ride this awesome motorcycle in this kind of bumper to bumper urban traffic. Anyway, coming back to the horsepower factor, we all love horsepower, right? More horsepower, the better it is, we feel. But when it comes to Harley Davidsons or cruisers, it is about the torque. Well, years ago, many years ago, even when I walked into a Harley Davidson showroom, I did the same thing. That is, I asked how much horsepower does so and so motorcycle model produce. But that was because I that time had no experience riding Harley Davidsons, and my first proper experience of understanding what amount of power these V-twins can produce was when I rode the Harley Davidson 48, which I rented out from Driven. Oh my god, that motorcycle on papers makes only about 65 horsepower, but it makes 100 Nm of torque, and it makes that torque at a mere few thousand RPM. That is where it gives us a kick on our ass, and that motorcycle can do 0 to 100 I think in about 4 seconds or so. That is very close to a superbike territory. And that is the time I realized that, man, these motorcycles look like they are cruisers, don't have too much of horsepower on paper, but these machines are really fast. Now this motorcycle, as I said, would probably make only about 45 horsepower, I think so. I'm not very sure because horsepower rating is never really given anywhere. But this one probably makes about 80 Newton meters of torque. I don't know the exact figure, but that is a lot of torque. And torque gives you happy riding. I mean, it gives you a feel where you feel that the motorcycle is being ridden effortlessly. Like for an example, 600cc inline force like a CBR 600 R6, those motorcycles are not torque based motorcycles, those are horsepower based motorcycles. They make their power very high on the rev bands. They make about 60 Newton meters of torque, but they make about 100 or 120 bhp of power. But that power is made at about 16,000 rpm. So when you're riding in slower conditions, in traffic conditions, riding a machine which makes its power very high on the torque band isn't really fun. But riding a Harley Davidson like this, wow, you can be in the top gear cruising, and cruising at about 120 kilometers an hour like I'm doing right now, and go down to even 30 kilometers an hour and still remain in the top gear, and this motorcycle torque will still keep pulling you ahead effortlessly. I hope it doesn't rain. That's the last thing I need today. I'm truly enjoying my ride. I'm truly enjoying it. And people often complain about the suspension of a Harley Davidson. They say it's stiff, it's harsh, but I haven't really had too much of an issue today. I'm not talking about the suspension feel on this beautiful road, but before getting onto this road, I did get onto bumpy roads and it was pretty fine. I did not really face too much of an issue. And when it comes to the seat comfort, holy mother. Now, this looks like, let me check with my friend, is it an aftermarket seat or is it stock seat? But this one is so bloody comfortable. You know, I would love to sit on this seat and watch a movie or watch a cricket match or some sport. It is beautiful. One thing which is tricky on Harley Davidsons is getting them into neutral. It's not easy. Now this could be because of a clutch engineering thing or whatever, but it's not easy. I truly hope it doesn't rain. And let's talk about maneuverability. That is, now this is well over a 800cc motorcycle. I mean, basically almost a 900cc motorcycle, right? And how does it feel like riding in traffic, maneuvering through traffic, cutting through bad traffic? Well, I gotta say, easy peasy. Really, really easy. You can see that. doing clutchless upshifts on a Harley Davidson. Alright, so these motorcycles, Harley Davidsons, well, they are such an iconic brand that they are either love it or hate it kind of motorcycles. What I mean by that is, you would either absolutely love Harley Davidson or say, well, I don't really like the vibrations, I don't really like the sound, I don't really like blah blah about them. So either you're here where you love them, or you're here where you don't like them. But there's nothing in between, because these motorcycles have so much of a character, of an attitude, that they really don't care about what others think. And these motorcycles have a character, an attitude of their own, which says that love me or hate me, but you cannot ignore me.